Welcome to video 5 in our gradebook series. The focus of this video is going to be how to submit grades at progress report time and at the end of the 6 weeks, as well as the different reports that you can run in gradebook to give you some printed information because sometimes that is necessary. So we went to our Texas gradebook by opening the browser and going to the gradebook website, which is txweb.brenhamisd.net, TX gradebook. When we enter, we're going to be on our home screen. And of course it looks something like this. We're going to now look at how to submit grades. So for progress reporting purposes, here's the good news. You don't need to do anything. Just make sure that you have grades in your gradebook by Friday every week. And at the end of the 3 weeks, when they pull averages for the progress reports, your averages will automatically be pulled. So make sure that you're entering grades as you go, weekly or even daily maybe, and keep things up to date, because our parent portal also makes this information available to our parents immediately. So they're going to be calling if they don't see something in the gradebook. So that's the good news. But let's say that you need to print an individual progress report. You can do that by going to the Grades tab. You'll notice in the Grades tab you have lots of choices. Assignment grades is where you entered the student grade, numerical grades. If you go down here to print IPR, that means individual progress report, and you can actually print an individual student report. Maybe you need a parent's asking for, they don't have parent portal access and they need a list of all their grades or something. So you can do that right here. But otherwise, you don't need to do anything for progress reporting period. But now it's the end of the 6 weeks. How do you submit your grades? So under the Grades tab, we're going to go to Cycle and Semester Grades. When we get into cycle and semester grades, of course, we'll choose the semester and a specific course from the course selection drop-down menu and click Retrieve Data. Now, right now, grade reporting is not open, so unfortunately my screen is not 100% accurate, and neither will yours be that way until it's actually time to submit grades, which is about a week before the end of the grade reporting period for each marking period. But basically, you're going to see the list of students. If you're further into the semester, you'll see Cycle 1, Cycle 2, and then right now I'm in Cycle 3. And of course, whichever cycle we're in is the one that will be expanded and open. You can see their averages. If you need to bump a student a point or two, maybe from a 69 to a 70, of course, the preferred method is to give them some work and have it actually reflect in your grade book. But if that is not possible, you can put something in the override column to do that bump if it's necessary. You can enter a citizenship grade of E, S, N, and U. And then for report card comments, you're going to use codes. So you'll click inside that cell, and then on the right side where it says Show Comment Legend, you'll see what the comment codes are for the current year. Most of the time they stay pretty true, meaning that they don't change year to year, so you can take a look at it. And also depends on which campus you're at. We may have changed the comment codes depending on your campus. But if I need the first comment code, I'm just going to put an A. If I need to put more than one comment code, you're going to put the letter, a comma, and then the next letter. For secondary education, we have semester exams, and so if it's time to put in semester exams, they're going to be entered right here in the cycle grades screen. They won't be in the actual grade book screen that you're used to working in. When you enter them, of course, it's also going to change the semester average. So you're basically going to work right here for each marking period and only in semester grades if that applies to your campus at the end of each semester. If you've put in your necessary overrides, your citizenship and your report card comments, if that's if you choose to do that, then you're going to put in your PIN and you're going to save. To the right of that, in blue, it'll say Mark Grades Ready to Post. And you can actually post each individual class separately, or you can post all your classes if you teach multiple classes, and you'll see the indication to do that. When you mark Grades Ready to Post and save that, then up at the top where we have the course selection, it'll have the word Ready out to the side. So a lot of times I get asked the question, how will I know that I have marked that class ready for posting, meaning that it can be picked up for the report cards? Look for the word ready right here. If it's there, then you have posted, and if it's not there, then you have not posted. And it would be a really good idea when you think you're finished to go back to the drop down and look to see that every course says ready. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you, was how to submit grades at the end of the 6 weeks. And that was in Grades, Cycle Grades, taking you to the screen and going through that process. Make sure you click Retrieve Data in order to get that class. I'd like to end this video taking a look at reports, because there's a lot of different types of reports. I'm only going to focus on a few that I think are most helpful. The first report is not actually in the reports menu, it's actually in attendance. When you go to post, view attendance, you're going to see hopefully, if I can get my internet to catch up with me. I'm going to try to get in a course here. That in the upper right hand side of the screen, that there's a print button. If you're going to be absent and you need a roster for your substitute, when you click print in the attendance screen, it gives you this nice beautiful roster in a printed out course format that you can give to the sub. I think that's just a nice way to do that. So that was actually under attendance. Post view attendance, which you go into every day, and click the print button right there. But now let's look at some of your other reports. In the reports list, I'm going to go ahead and click on the reports tab so we can see the list this way. You have assignment grades. I know there's a bunch of old school people out there who just like to see their printed grade book. And so if you want to see list of kids and the grades that they have received on their assignments, that's where you're going to be able to print that out. We don't recommend that. That uses a lot of paper and a lot of ink, but we know sometimes it's just necessary. So I just wanted to show you where that was located. Attendance verification, there might become a time in the fall or spring semester where you have to submit an attendance verification and maybe put into your box for you, or if they ask you to run it, it'll be right here under attendance verification. I also wanted to point out that the note that most people like is the one called class roster. And class roster gives you a list of your students and then blank columns. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that one so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to have student name. Notice if I wanted to be able to list students just with their ID number, meaning I'm going to put something, I'm going to post something and I don't want them to know what other students made, I could actually run this report just with my ID number and without my name. And I can put down how many blank columns I need. So if I need 5 columns. So if I generate that report, it's going to open for me. I chose student name and then I chose 5 columns. I could print this out or export it to Excel, and then I would have something, to walk around the class maybe on a clipboard and use to record grades or whatever, field trip list or people on the bus or whatever it is you think you might need. Sorry about that. Going back to our reports. There are many other reports in here that you think you might need. A student special note, maybe missing grades that you have missing grades in your grade book. And as you click on each one, there's lots of different choices to see. I hope this has helped you to look at different reports and how to submit your grades for the 6 weeks.